What is going on, guys? This is Elijah here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video, and this time it is between the Northwestern Wildcats versus the Stanford Cardinal, and it is at Stanford Stadium. Time is 4 p.m. Eastern Time, which is basically 1 p.m. Pacific Time out west. Coverage will be on Fox, and the date is August 31st of 2019, and we are in June of the month of this year, and we are almost to college football season, which is insane. We have like 2 or 3 months left until the season starts. It's crazy. College football is almost here, and this might be my last college football prediction video before week 1, and then I'll do them after each week on Sundays, just to get out these college football prediction videos. And yeah, it's crazy. It's June, and then next thing you know, it will be in college football. So I'm talking about the Northwestern Wildcats versus the Stanford Cardinals. It's going to be pretty good this year, but Northwestern is losing some key guys, especially Clayton Thorson, who's gone to the NFL, and of course Flynn Nigel as well, who was their top receiver. I believe he's gone, graduated, or I think he might be back in another year. So if you are a Northwestern fan, let me know. These are all the stats I get from ESPN, and if I don't have anyone on that I mentioned, it's just the top players that were on ESPN. KJ Costello is back with the team for Stanford, so that is huge, but they are losing like 3 of their best wide receivers, which is JJ Arcega, Whiteside, Trent Irwin, and of course for defense is Bobby Okereke. I pronounced the last name wrong, I'm sorry. And of course Caden Smith. And also, linebacker Sean Barton, who's retired from, I think, due to medical issues as well. So that's kind of a loss for Stanford. But Stanford last year went 9-4 and 6-3 in the Pac North. And David Shaw's 8th season upcoming this year. And of course, Pat Fitzgerald's 14th season as a Wildcat. And they did really well last year, and they kind of shocked everybody. They won the West Division of Big Ten. They went 9-5. 8-1 until they got destroyed by the Ohio State Buckeyes. They lost, like I said, Clayton Thorson and Flynn Nigel. So Hunter Johnson might be the starting quarterback for the Northwestern Wildcats, but TJ Green had the stats from last year, so I'm reading his stats from last year. So if you guys complain that he may not be the starting quarterback, it's just I'm reading off the stats from last year. All right, so as I like to do quarterback, a running back, wide receiver, and the top player on defense as well. So let's go ahead and go through the stats, and then I'll talk about the game at the end. Alright, so Stanford's quarterback, KJ Costello, is returning. So he went 269 completions to 413 attempts with 3,540 passing yards, 65.1% completion percentage, 8.6 yards average, which is really good, 29 touchdowns and 11 touchdowns. He needs to bring down the 11 touchdowns to be a good quarterback in the NFL. All right, so Northwestern is going to be either Hunter Johnson or TJ Green, if I think TJ Green is still on the team. So TJ Green last year had 20 completions to 36 attempts, 169 passing yards, 55.6 completion percentage, 4.7 yards average, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. All right, of course, Bryce Love. I forgot he's also gone to the NFL, and that is another huge loss for Stanford, but Stanford has Cameron Scarlett, who's also a pretty good running back, so that's going to be a good veteran player for KJ Costello in the backfield. So he last year he had 79 carries, 330 rushing yards, 4.2 yards average, and 8 touchdowns. Now for Northwestern, who's returning, Isaiah Bowser had a pretty good season last year, or Bowser, I think it was his name. I think I might have got his name mixed up. All right, but it is Isaiah Bowser. Sorry. All right, he went 197 carries to 866 rushing yards, 4.4 yards average, and 6 touchdowns, which is pretty good for a freshman running back, and that will help for Northwestern this year. All right, so Stanford, their best wide receiver that's coming back next year is their tight end, because their top 3 wide receivers last year are all gone in the NFL. So Kobe Parkinson is their tight end, and he had 29 receptions, 485 receiving yards, 16.7 yards average, and 7 touchdowns. For Northwestern, you have Bennett Showrenick. If I pronounce the last name wrong, I'm sorry. It's kind of a tough one to pronounce. Of course, Flynn Nigel is gone, I believe, from graduation or something else. I think he was in the NFL or trying to be. So Bennett went 45 receptions, 562 receiving yards, 12.5 yards average, which is pretty good, and 3 touchdowns. So he is going to be the key guy for either TJ Green or Hunter Johnson. Hunter Johnson is a transfer from Clemson, so he could be the top player or quarterback for Northwestern. All right, so for defense, the top player for Stanford is Paul Debu. He's a cornerback. He has 64 total tackles, 4 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble, which is really good. And for Northwestern, which is huge for Blake Gallagher, he had 127 total tackles, which is really good, and 1 interception, and he's their linebacker. Alright, so at the end of every video, I like to go over the game, but I'm going to let you guys decide who is going to win this game. Is it going to be Stanford? Is it going to be Northwestern? I think it's going to be a close game. I think the score will be in the low 30s, maybe high 20s. I feel like that was just like a weather prediction, but I think it's going to be like a 28-21, maybe like a 1-score touchdown lead for both teams, because it's going to be a really intense game. It's going to be fun to watch. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Who is going to win this game? Will KJ Costello have a great game? Or who's going to start for Northwestern? Let me know in the comments below. You guys have a great day. And Elijah here, and like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and peace.